right, so the intro to this eviction episode got me so excited. A jury segment and King Kaser. I was like, wow, I am being fed this episode. If I were Nicole, I would also be scared with not using the veto because Christmas is pretty scary. Memphis being so confident in the DR, and of course they wanted to share this because it keeps things interesting, made me want to see him blindsided even more. All that confidence, that cockiness, I just wanted to see his downfall so bad. Just Memphis and Christmas thinking that Nicole would use the veto. It's like, don't be silly. Nicole would never. That was never a real thought in her mind. She was just pretending to entertain the idea. She would never, ever cross Cody. Say what you want, but Nicole is loyal to Cody. It would be interesting, severely interesting, if she ever just cuts him because she knows she can't win against him. But I don't think it'll happen. I think she's probably fine losing to him. Cody was really peeved with Memphis making these alliances behind his back and just, you know, talking behind his back. Cody was not feeling it, and that's what sealed Memphis's fate. Memphis really thought he had Cody and Enzo, and he didn't. You know, maybe Enzo wanted to keep him, but Enzo's gonna follow suit with what Cody and Nicole want because that's where the numbers lie. And Cody was like, no, that's a hit to his ego too. Like Memphis making deals without him and Cody knowing about it. Cody's like, I thought it was pretty funny when he was like, I'm working decades, seasons ahead of him. I was like, ooh. So when they finally showed Memphis and Christmas sitting in the nomination chairs together, Memphis looked pretty nervous and sad. I thought immediately they told him because he wasn't his usual confident self. All right, so the jury segment, it always looks so staged, and this time especially, they're all just sitting there waiting for Tyler to come in, and it just looked like a stage production where they're like, okay, we got to fill the space, you stand there, you sit here, you do this over here. Of course, whoever they talk about is gonna be the next person coming in. They were talking about Tyler. Ian said it's probably going to be one of the big players, either Tyler or Cody. They're the ones running the game. Everyone kind of agrees. And then there goes Kevin talking about Tyler, and then Danny saying that she's not bitter towards Tyler. She understands it was a game move, so she's not upset, and she's not hoping he comes in. But maybe just a little bit she is, I would think. Considering how bitter she was toward Nicole, maybe she would have been more excited to see her. So just the jury talking further proves that Cody is in the best spot, and Cody will likely win it all. If they take him to final two, he's winning it no matter who's sitting next to him. Danny complimenting Cody and saying he's playing a great game. I'm just like, Danny, you're married. Day is basically all of us hoping and telling Enzo to do something. If he wants to win, he actually has to do something. Saying he'll do something is not enough. That will not suffice. Day confronts Tyler about the whole Black Lives Matter and him wanting to quit situation. I feel like this was something that they had to bring up considering there really wasn't closure about it, and a lot of people have been talking about it and questioning it. So I think Big Brother really wanted this to be something that they discuss. Seems like things are okay between them. Tyler got all emotional, and yeah, I mean, what is he gonna say? He's just like, it was genuine, and Christmas didn't want me to go home. She didn't think it was a good move, so I had to backtrack. And yeah, I loved how long the jury segment was. Probably not much has been going on, and they're just like, let's fill this up with the jury, and everybody loves the jury, and yes, that is true. And I heard there was like some mention of bats. There's bats in the jury house. And side note, that jury house looks absolutely stunning. I absolutely love seeing them get messages from their loved ones. I cried, I got emotional over it. It was really sweet. I'm sure it was really hard for them to be separated from them. In a normal time, it would be difficult, and it's especially difficult during this whole pandemic. Kevin's husband, that was really sweet. Ian's girlfriend, and Tyler's comment about, you know, Ian should marry this girl. David's dad with his dog was really cute. David genuinely seems like a nice guy. Like a guy you would genuinely like have a good time with outside of the house. And of course, you know, Ian seems like a sweetie pie too. I've always thought that. Kevin also seems like a nice guy. They all seem like good people. Yeah, sometimes the Big Brother house brings out the worst in people, but outside of the game, you know, they're human beings. Day's daughter was so sweet, and Day crying about it. I can't even imagine what she must be feeling and going through being away from her. Tyler was crying so much over Angela. It was kind of funny. I mean, yeah, he loves her, so good for them that they're still going strong. They genuinely do seem like a really good match. And I always thought that even in their season when things started to spark between them, I was like, it works. Danny got a message from Dom and her daughter, her dog, and her hairless cat. I was laughing at the hairless cat with the sweater. So yeah, and then they were teasing Nicole having to break a tie, that Enzo and Cody were gonna vote different ways. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Enzo will vote the way that Cody does. Enzo could have made Nicole break it as some type of game move. I don't know, but that didn't happen. Maybe Nicole could use that to her advantage and be like, I made a big game move, I broke the tie, whatever. So it is what it is. Memphis usually so confident, but while they're waiting for the results of the vote, you could see he's like breathing heavy, very nervous. And then in his interview with Julie, he does mention that he picked up on the vibes of that day and he knew that it was off. Christmas looked sad to see her BB man go. They really didn't show anything about what's going on there. And I guess they never will. Even though Memphis picked up on the vibes, he said he was still blindsided. I didn't see him look really all that stunned. Maybe just disappointed. He's still like, I don't know, I wanted a blow up. I wanted something explosive. But that didn't happen. He was just like, okay, like, good luck, you're gonna need it. Memphis said he would have taken Cody and Enzo, and then Julie mentions, well, what about Christmas? And then he's like, kind of reverts back and saying like, oh yeah, that was definitely an option. I think it was just trying to play up the fact like, oh, I would have taken them, but they cut me. I would have been better for their game if I stayed, but who knows, because he didn't get to that point, so who knows what he would have done. I definitely don't think it would be smart for him if he had made it to that point to take Cody over Christmas, because he would win over Christmas and lose against Cody. So I don't know, I don't really fully believe what he's saying. I think he's just saying that in the heat of the moment. I saw a little spark of that little Memphis feistiness when he said he didn't want to listen to the goodbye messages, but he had to listen to them anyway. I will say, it was a bit nice seeing Memphis getting knocked off of his high horse, off of his pedestal. He really thought he was running everything, and Julie telling everybody that was getting evicted that Memphis was running everything. Surprisingly enough, she didn't tell Memphis he was running everything, because he wasn't. Memphis's speech before getting evicted had to do with keeping your word, and that your word is everything. And Julie kind of questioned that and was like, okay, but you had all these alliances and some were real, some weren't. So, and he's like, well, whatever I said to Cody was true. And it's just like, you know, don't be a hypocrite. It's Big Brother. So I was really excited about this, even though, you know, I guess it really won't be all that interesting because it's really easy to gang up in this competition. But they're doing a chess HOH, a throwback to BB6. and King Kaser was there to deliver the news to them and tell them about the competition. I miss Kaser. I was happy to see him again, and I wish he was on my TV screen longer. I wish he was actually being put back into the game to play. I thought it was funny. It's called Night Moves and King Kaser. It just goes so well. But yeah, Christmas is for sure screwed. They will for sure gang up on her, and yeah, this competition really does show your alliances. I remember when Kaser and Janelle played it, and it favored them because they had the numbers in it. So yeah, that's it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe.